Hello and welcome to Monday's Reflection. Thank you for joining us. This week we continue to look at Elijah and the widow of Zarephath starting today, looking at God's provision. Let us start by praying together. O God of the still, small voice, quiet our inner spirit.
Help us to focus upon you and you alone, to hear your voice within.
There are so many other voices demanding our attention, but we cannot attend to them without you.
Be still and know that I am God.
1 Kings chapter 17 verses 7 to 16. Some time later, the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. Then the word of the Lord came to him. Go at once to Zarephath in the region of Sidon and stay there. I have directed a widow there to supply you with food. So he went to Zarephath. When he came to the town gate, a widow was there gathering sticks. He called to her and asked, Would you bring me a little water jar so that I may have a drink? As she was going to get it, he called, And please bring me a piece of bread. As surely as the Lord your God lives, she replied, I don't have any bread, only a handful of flour in a jar and a little olive oil in a jug. I am gathering a few sticks to take home and make a meal for myself and my son, that we may eat it and die. Elijah said to her, Don't be afraid. Go home and do as you have said. But first, make a small loaf of bread for me from what you have and bring it to me, and then make something for yourself and your son. For this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. The jar of flour will not be used up, and the jug of oil will not run dry, until the day the Lord sends rain on the land. She went away and did as Elijah had told her. So there was food every day for Elijah and for the woman and her family. The jar of flour was not used up, and the jug of oil did not run dry, in keeping with the word the Lord had spoken by Elijah.
Having told Ahab that there will be no more rain, Elijah has been living in the Kerith ravine, being fed by ravens and drinking from the brook. But then the brook runs dry. Take a moment to consider what Elijah might have felt as he watched the brook's flow become a trickle and then disappear into the parched earth and stopping altogether. How might Elijah be feeling as he sees God's provision running out? And then he hears God speak, telling him to go to Zarephath. Now Zarephath is the heart of enemy territory, a dangerous place for a man like Elijah. I wonder how he felt when God told him to go there. So he goes, and he meets a widow. He asks her for some food, but then she replies that she has no food. Elijah has obeyed God, trusted in God's provision, and yet it seems that the provision has run out. How might Elijah be feeling now? Now take a moment to consider your own situation at this time. Are there ways in which you have known or are experiencing God's provision? And have you known or are you experiencing that provision running out in any way? How did you or are you responding to that? However Elijah was feeling, he continues to listen to God, to trust in God's provision. And sure enough, the woman, Elijah, and her family see their limited food supplies being replenished, seeing them through the drought. In times where we feel our provisions are running low, it's not always easy to turn to God, to listen, to trust, to obey. How are you feeling towards God as you consider this? Are you wanting to listen or to hide, to turn towards God and trust, or to try and sort it out on your own? Elijah trusted, and God came through, but God's provision came from a surprising place. It came out of enemy territory, out of a place of seeming danger. It came from a woman who, as a widow, was already vulnerable, and even the resource itself was at its limit. As we draw towards the end of our reflection today, consider what this might mean for you. If you're facing a time of need, where are you looking to see that need met? And might it be that it could be met in a surprising way, perhaps from a surprising place? when you're ready, bring your time of reflection to a close by speaking to God about what has been on your mind. Thank you for joining us for today's reflection. We hope the rest of your day goes well. Let us conclude by praying together.
We see Elijah calling on the name of God, responding to the forces of evil with an appeal to a higher power. May we be a people of faith.
We see Elijah caring for the most vulnerable, offering bread to the widow and healing touch to her child.
May we be a people of compassion. We see Elijah speaking truth to power, daring to deliver words of judgment to the king. May we be a people of justice.
We see Elijah ascend in the whirlwind, offering the promise of the still unfolding future.
May we be a people of hope. Amen.